Ever wonder why you can buy a high-end electronic gadget, assembled by thousands of specialized workers, shipped across an ocean, cleared through customs, and delivered to your door, all for less than the cost of a dinner for two? It just doesn't make sense. By every traditional measure of economic performance, it is a logistical nightmare, but it's the status quo. Here is the industry's paradox. For the past decade, the West has been obsessed with nearshoring and reshoring to break free of global supply chain volatility. But the world's dependence on Chinese manufacturing hasn't just remained the same, it has grown. If you think this is about cheap labor, you're reading a 1990s playbook in a 2026 world. The truth is far more terrifying. Take a breath for a second. Put the phone down and look around your room. No shit. The chair you're sitting on, the coffee mug in your hand, the device you're using to watch this. Track their birth certificates, and the odds are astronomical that they were forged in a cluster of cities you've probably never heard of. Welcome to The Business Blueprint. I am not here to talk politics or trade wars. I'm here to lift the curtain on how your daily life works. We will dissect the China model into 3 acts: the cluster effect, the infrastructure velocity, and the brutal reality of STEM-driven scale. Act 1. The cluster effect. In the West, we see a supply chain as a string of linked dots. We make a part in Ohio, send it to Mexico for assembly, and then send it to California for distribution. It is a fragile linear chain. In China, they don't do chains. They do ecosystems. Think of an entire city that is all about buttons, or light switch, or EV powertrains. If you're a new hardware startup, you don't wait weeks for a supplier to ship a specialized screw from another state. You walk, or drive, 5 minutes down the road. This is what we call the cluster effect. When all of your suppliers, raw material providers, and testing labs are within a 20-mile radius, the cost of friction goes to almost zero. Not only are you saving on shipping, you're saving on time to market. In the world of startups, speed is the only currency that counts. A Western firm is still waiting for a quote, while China can prototype and iterate 3 times. The game is already over. Act 2. Infrastructure speed. We hear a lot about state-led initiatives, but that's a boring way to describe a high-speed logistical weapon. China's investment is not just roads. It's in the total throughput. They see infrastructure as the operating system of their economy. It's not dealing with crumbling rail lines or potholed highways when a manufacturer has 1 million units to get to port. They are accessing a digital physical grid, optimized to the millisecond. I call this infrastructure velocity. It's the ability to scale up from 1 unit to 1 million units without the system breaking. They've made logistics a commodity. If you're a CEO, why take a chance on an unproven high-friction supply chain in another country when you have a turnkey, hyper-efficient machine to plug into? They've traded stability for adaptability, rerouting cargo with real-time AI before a bottleneck even occurs. Act 3. The STEM engine. Finally, let's talk about the talent. People point to the sheer volume of workers, but that's a relic of the past. The real advantage today is the engineering density. China produces approximately 4.7 million STEM graduates every year. That's a structural disadvantage for the West that most analysts are terrified to talk about. But it's not just the number, it's the feedback loop. These aren't just graduates. They are engineers who have spent their entire careers in the world's most intense manufacturing pressure cookers. When your whole society is about how things are built, and not just how to design them, you build a huge intellectual moat. That's why a Tesla made in Shanghai can be made with fewer people and more accuracy than the same car made in California. But it's not just the robot, it's the engineer who knows how to optimize the robot, the software that runs it, and the supply chain that feeds it. So will the world ever break out of this? We just shift the goalposts based on the data. We are building China plus one strategies, but even those factories are frequently operated by the same Chinese companies, with the same Chinese components and the same Chinese logistics software. We are trying to play against a machine that has been doing this for 40 years. The question is not, Can we decouple with China? Can the West ever build an ecosystem that is this fast, this dense, and this cheap without selling its economic soul? That's the bet for the next decade. If you dug this breakdown, then go ahead and smash that subscribe button. We're here every week trying to decode the systems that actually run the world. What do you think about this? Do you think Western manufacturing can ever be competitive again? Or are we past the point of no return? Drop your prediction in the comments. I'll be reading them.